So I'm going to talk to you about the single most important thing that you need if you're trying to get from where you are to where you're trying to go. Yes, you need faith. Yes, you need belief. Yes, you need to stick to it, but you have to have discipline. And a lot of us who are successful, a lot of people who have achieved certain things in life, we have mistaken discipline for control. You see, it took me about 20 years of being in my business to realize that what I thought was discipline, what other people said was discipline, what the world looked at as discipline. They'd say, Lynn, you built this. You must have a lot of discipline. Lynn, you're the most disciplined person that I know. Lynn, discipline, discipline, discipline. But secretly, I knew deep within that I did not have any discipline at all, that what I had was control. You see, control and discipline are two different things. Control is what the world sees. Control manifests the business. Control will manifest maybe the weight loss. Control will manifest many of the things that externally the world can see. But discipline is the thing that only you and God can see. Discipline is the stuff that nobody really knows. Discipline is where you cannot take any shortcuts. So I'm going to say to everybody out there who has built anything, who has anything, those of us who are self-starters, we are motivators, especially a lot of us women, we make it happen no matter what. At the end of the day, we're going to get to the end. We're going to get the child the money that they need for school. We're going to make sure our kid, my grandmother would make sure I got to the cheerleading competitions on a cleaning lady's salary and an 8th grade education. You know, she had control. But what about discipline? What about the things that we are doing on a daily basis to get where we're trying to go? Let me explain this to you. If you have a discrepancy, if you have a gap between discipline and control, I want to tell you the very most important thing that you need to know about lacking one of them. If you don't have discipline, you will lose control. So let's say you build the big business. If you don't have discipline, then it will dwindle. Let's say you get the money because you have the control to go out and make the money. If you don't have discipline, you will lose the money. Let's say you have enough control or manipulation even to go and get the relationship, to get somebody to be with you. And that's an intimate relationship, that is a business relationship, that is any kind of relationship that could exist. If you don't have the discipline to have honor and courtesy and respect, then you will lose control. If you don't have discipline, you will ultimately lose control. So I want us to start to focus together on what it's going to take to have discipline. Let me tell you, I'm lacking discipline in a lot of areas. Let's take this t-shirt, okay? Everybody who knows me knows I shirt under the shirt. Okay, I'm not ironing anything at all, whether you could see it or not. He's ironing the little things. See, that is discipline. And this shirt that I have on needed some ironing, and you can see it, which means I have lost control because of no discipline. So this is a small thing, but this is showing up in the big things in our lives. This is showing up in our money. This is showing up in our business. This is showing up in our ministry. This is showing up in our mission. This is showing up in our careers. So if you don't have discipline, you will ultimately lose control. The next thing you need to know about lacking discipline is this. Discipline is the bridge between what you have and what you want. Let me repeat, discipline is the bridge between what you have and what you want. So let's say you only have, less than 1 month of living expenses. Then discipline is going to get you to the 3-6 months of living expenses, or the year or 2 years of living expenses that you need to have put to the side in order to protect yourself against an unstable economy. Okay, let's say you only have a relationship that is marginal. It is draining you. It is wearing you out. You thought that this person was going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Well, it is discipline. The lack of discipline in staying single and waiting until the person that you want could be tested and could be proven and could show up in your life. It is the discipline that is lacking to do the things that are necessary while you're single, maintaining your integrity, maintaining your sense of peace, and maintaining your sense of worthiness. right? It is the lack of discipline that is allowing us to be in situations where what we have and what we want are so far spread out that we don't even see a way to get there. The other thing I want to say to you about discipline is this. If you want a whole blessing, you cannot take shortcuts. If you want a whole blessing, you cannot take shortcuts. Now, that doesn't mean that you will never achieve anything through a shortcuts. Have there been shortcuts? Absolutely. You know, some will say that I took a shortcut by having weight loss surgery. I had tried and tried and tried. It wasn't working out for me. And so I went and had the weight loss surgery. But let me tell you, it took discipline to keep this weight off for over 14 years. It took discipline to make sure that I'm eating mostly protein and vegetables and not a whole lot of carbs. It takes discipline. So if you want a whole blessing, you cannot take shortcuts. And if you take a shortcut, the shortcut isn't going to keep you there. So do you want a shortcut in the blessing of your business? Do you want a shortcut blessing when it comes to your money? Do you want a shortcut blessing when it comes to your relationships? I would venture to say, no, you do not. So if you want to get to where you are trying to go, if you want to elevate your finances, if you want to own a home, I have a home buyers club, and I have so many people coming to me saying, you know, Lynn, I heard you say that you don't need a high credit score to get a good rate. I heard you don't need perfect credit to get into a home. I heard all of these things. Well, I'm saying join the home buyers club because it's going to give you the discipline and the training to not only achieve the dream of home ownership, but also to keep your home. And I've got folks saying, well, I don't have $49. Well, if you don't have $49, how are you going to buy a house? Okay, so it is the very thing that you do in discipline that is going to be the thing that you need to sustain the dream that you see for yourself, the vision that you see for yourself, the prize that you see for yourself. And I just need to know, you need to answer for yourself right now. Do you want a whole blessing or do you want a shortcut blessing? Do you want a whole vision or do you want a short vision? Do you want a whole dream? Or do you want a short dream? Well, if you want a whole blessing, then discipline is what it's going to take to not only get you there, but to keep you there and to elevate you to the next level that you can't even see. You see, there's a next level in your blessing. There's a next level in your dream. There's a next level in your finances that you don't even see. It's like going to the airport. You have to walk through the first set of doors before the second set of doors will even open. You don't even know that the second set of doors are back there. I have been in the airport so many times. I was traveling 20 days out of the month. And unless I had visited that airport before, I never knew how many sets of doors I was going to have to walk through in order to ultimately get into the airport. So you have to open that first door before you can even see what's going to happen after that first door. And that first door gets open with your discipline. So how do you enact discipline? How are you going to take all of the things that you haven't done and all of a sudden start to do them? Well, many people say that all it takes is 21 days to create a new habit. So I'm going to ask you to do something that you haven't done before and do it for 21 days, or do something that you dropped off and do it for 21 days. I read the whole Bible. It took me, they said it would take a year. I did it in 9 months. That's because I had the discipline daily to read a scripture, remember a scripture, journal what my thoughts were, and I did it. But then there are times when I have no discipline at all, right? There are days, weeks that I go by without reading my scripture. So for me, for the next 21 days, I am going to not only read the word, I'm going to remember something, and I'm going to let it sit and marinate in my soul so that I can be better for myself and ultimately for my family and for others. I'm going to, during that time, I'm also going to meditate, because meditation is something I don't want to do either. Let me tell you why. Because I have no discipline. Because meditation requires that you throw everything else out of your mind, out of your brain. And I have so many things running around up here that I don't have time to meditate. Well, guess what? If you do not have discipline, you will lose control. And I am certainly not trying to lose control of the things that God has blessed me with. Are you trying to lose control? If you don't exercise discipline with your children, if you don't stick to the punishment that you told them they were going to get if they didn't clean their room, if they didn't bring home good grades, if they didn't treat their friends or whomever with respect, if you do not stick to the discipline that you said you were going to implement, then guess what? Those kids are going to be out of control and you will be out of control as well. So we don't want that. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to do something for 21 days. Join the 21 Days to Financial Freedom at New Wealth University. Go to asklynn.org. Get your finances straight, end your spending addiction. Journal in your master business and budgeting journal for 21 days. Track your personal expenses versus your business expenses, because some say money talks, but I say money walks away from you quietly. You don't know where it went, right? So if you want to find your money, then journal for 21 days. Do something for 21 days. My sister, attorney Serena Williams, has a 21-day meditation journal. Go to practicalskillsu.com. Get the journal. Do something for 21 days. The next thing I'm going to tell you to do, if you want to have discipline and you want it to take form in your life and you want it to be the bridge between where you are and where you're trying to be, eliminate everything that's in your way. If you don't want to drink any alcohol, eliminate all of it. If you don't want to eat any snacks, then get rid of them. If you don't want to have this relationship draining you, then stop talking to the person for 21 days. Let me tell you something. You can't be afraid to lose them, because anything that you're afraid of losing, you've already lost it anyway. 21 days. The last thing I'm going to tell you to do if you want to implement discipline is I'm going to tell you to write what you're going to see on the other side. If you stop drinking for 21 days, what are you going to see on the other side? If you meditate for 21 days, what's going to happen on the other side? If you track your spending for 21 days, if you stop going to the club or spending on Amazon or giving into your spending addiction, how much money will you have in 21 days? Okay? So write the vision and make it plain. So not only will the reader run with it, but you can run with it. There's a difference between discipline and control. And if you want to keep control, you must implement discipline. Go to asklynn.org so I can help you get there. Let's go.